The structure of a tree. Learning objectives. At the end of this presentation, students should be able to distinguish among the parts of a tree and outline the function of the components of the structure of a tree. Introduction. The natural purpose of wood is to provide a framework which supports the foliage and fruits of the tree. It also provides resistance to lateral wind forces and gravity loads. These natural structural properties make it an ideal construction material. Parts of a tree. The main parts of a tree are the crown, the trunk, and the roots. The crown. Branches, twigs, and foliage or leaves all make up the crown of the tree. This is the area that processes the food of the tree or for the tree. The trunk. The trunk is the main stem of the tree that supports the crown and gives the tree its shape and strength. The trunk and branches of trees are the essential linear elements which enable them to resist tension, compression, and bending. They are highly elastic and the mechanism of resisting loads, such as during windy periods, they are able to sway under the loads brought on by the wind or gusts of winds. As the cross-section of members increases, so does their strength and resistance to bending. The roots. The roots absorb water and nutrients from the soil, store nutrients, and anchor the tree upright in the ground. All trees have lateral roots that branch into smaller and smaller roots and usually extend horizontally beyond the branch tips. Each root is covered with thousands of root hairs that make it easier to soak up water and dissolve minerals from the soil. The cross-section of the tree trunk. As the diagram shows, there are a number of members that make up the cross-section of a tree. It begins with the outer bark, followed by the inner bark, then the cambium, followed by the sapwood, then the heartwood, then we have the pith. Additionally, we have the growth rings, as well as the medullary ray, or what are known as rays. We'll now look at these parts individually. Bark. The trunk, branches, and twigs of the tree are covered with bark. This is the outer skin that protects the tree from insect and animal attack. Growth rings or annual rings. The growth rings refers to the ring of wood cells that are reproduced each year. Now, by counting the number of rings, scientists can tell the age of a tree just after it is felled or cut down. Cambium. The cambium is a very thin layer of growing tissue that produces new cells that become new wood and bark cells. Inner bark or phloem. The inner bark, which is found between the cambium and the outer bark, acts as a food supply line by carrying sap in the form of sugar and nutrients dissolved in water from the leaves to the rest of the tree. Around this is a ring of sapwood, which is the soft wood of a tree, between the inner bark and the heartwood. The sapwood or xylem conducts sap from the roots to the leaves and generally has a low resistance to fungal or insect attack. The heartwood is a dark colored area in the center of the trunk of the logs of many trees. Its function is almost entirely to provide mechanical support. The resistance of heartwood varies considerably depending upon the species. Pith or medulla. The pith is located in the center of the trunk of the tree. It is a small, soft core of the trunk or branch. The rays consist of a strip of wood cells that allow sap to move transversely through the wood and provide for the storage of surplus food and its movement when required. This ends this presentation. Here are my references. Thank you.